Thank you for doing this. And would you like to do the meditation first? I don't know how much time do you have, or you can go right to your mansion, whatever.
Um, Remind me what we're exchanging this for?
I was just changing. Medit You want to do MailChimps, right? Or meditations, whichever.
That's right. That's right. MailChimps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You threw
Let's
me
start.
off with meditation. I was like, okay, we can do meditation. But I mean, you know what? We can do meditation either way, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, communicating is meditation. Why don't
Okay.
you take a deep breath? How's that? That's
Yeah.
meditation.
Yeah. Please, please
You ready?
lead me to my center.
Okay, so just relax. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath and exhale gently within your own rhythm. When you inhale, fill in your belly. Build your belly, expand, expand. And push your belly in. Exhale, breathe out. Allow this energy to rise through your diaphragm, your chest. Exhale, feeling the sensation through your neck. Visualize a golden light, a bubble around you, from the top of the heaven all the way down to your feet to the earth. Command your body to relax, relax, relax. Give yourself self-gratitude, self-compassion, self-love. Continue a few more breaths. Inhale love. Exhale gratitude. When you're ready, open your eyes and come on out.
I feel like oxygenated. Beautiful.
All right, thank you.
So tell me a little bit more about the is it the internet marketing that we're talking to you about in regards to your business, or growing your business, growing your ideas, attracting clients? How are you?
Um,
What exactly is the idea that you're trying to attract clients for?
Try attract clients. So one of my biggest thing right now I'm working on, of course, is the meditations. I have a meditation program,
Mm-hmm.
and I know how to use Mailchimp, all the stuff, but I'm actually not even. Simbi is actually one way that I love right now to actually get networking. You know, people are
Right. Yeah.
like-minded. People are very open and friendly. You know,
Yes.
it
Yes.
breaks away from the traditional corporate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Well, money is not a barrier anymore, right? You can just exchange your thing. It's a beautiful
exactly,
thing. A lot of times,
exactly.
money is a barrier, and this is what a lot of us young adults are facing: the fact that money is a barrier for us to trade things.
Right, exactly. And there's also the traditional way is looking at all your accreditations. You know, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Right. Right.
if you know what you're doing, man, let's go for it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Sounds like you know what you're doing. So okay. So great. So tell me more about the moment where you had said to yourself, I think I can do it, in regards to doing just meditation for yourself, to transitioning to, I can teach this.
Right. Well, that's the hardest part for a while. It's like a process, you know. Every time you have your own, everybody has their own inner wisdom or knowing, right? So the more you meditate, the more you tap into your own information that is not even out there in this world.
Right.
But by the time you get ready to step out to teach this or to show people how to do it, then there's always something that comes up like this part of lineage. There's so many gurus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who am I going to go out there and teach meditation? You know, there's so many gurus out there.
Right. Right.
But but then I look back, and when we look back on meditation, one of the things is, I don't know, like people in the Buddhism lineage, right?
Okay.
So a lot of people follow the Buddhism, which is great. Buddha teaches amazing, profound compassion and wisdom and meditations, right? You have Zen Buddhism, you have Tibetan lineage, you have all these different lineage. But then I'm like, okay, I get it. It's this. He was 25,000 years ago teaching all this stuff, but where's his certification?
Right. Right. Right.
Where is guru, right?
Right. Right.
and then you have all this a follower, amazing follower of different spiritual teachers, right?
I really like that. Where's Buddha's certification?
I want to know. I'm not following no more.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But so it's like, you know, Jesus is one of my other spiritual teachers, you know, about love, unconditional love. Everybody, when I communicate with other people now, it's, of course, trying to make money, trying to support ourselves, you know, and going out sharing the things that I know from my own experience.
Right.
But where is his certification?
So you're propelled towards teaching just to kind of share your knowledge. Is that the I guess the answer to my question?
Well, not just sharing the knowledge of meditations, right? Which you can also learn so many different ways and millions of ways, but also empowering people to step out of their own inner understanding and knowledge and wisdom, right? So there's no fear, because when we say money is the biggest block for a lot of people, so is the biggest fear of, I cannot do this because someone's looking for this certification. Someone's looking for this 40 years of experience. But if someone is already 20 years old and they have so much intelligence.
I see. So okay. So you're looking to help people who have wisdom, but they're blocking themselves from exercising, sharing that wisdom.
Exactly.
And that wisdom.
Exactly.
There's a block in their head.
Exactly. And that's what meditation does. It does so many different things, like a self-healing, right?
Right.
So the way I explain it is, meditation is, your mind is like a big cloud around you. The more you become still, the more you sit in your breath, the more you start to open this narrow space of information. And that space is how you are connected to God or connected to your own source. And that information starts to expand. As it expands, so is things that you face your own inner fear, your own chatter, your own illusion.
Right. So in order to expand, you have to collapse those barriers, right? So like, you know, you don't need certification to expand yourself.
Right.
Right. And to expand, meditation helps.
Right.
Okay, great. So that's really important for me to understand that particular part. Tell me a little bit about some of the obstacles that you yourself had to overcome in order to be right now.
Well, of course, I did a lot of different traveling to different spiritual journey, healing, you know, retreats, a lot of retreats to do inner work. But I didn't really go into the retreat at the very beginning to say, hey, this is something that I should be doing, right? It's kind of like our mom and dad, you know, you need to go to school, go to college, all that stuff. A lot of this stuff is rather we facing our own inner fear. I have my own fear and my own vulnerabilities, or my own ego, per se, you know,
right.
And going through life, going through relationship, you know, having a hard time, you don't give a shit anymore, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to get away, right?
Yeah,
but I never got away. I never traveled, per se. I'm going to go on a vacation to a beach or in Florida or somewhere, and later, you know, enjoy a week and have a couple of drinks. But when I want to step away to understand, why am I in pain? Why am I emotionally in pain? Why do I have fear? I want to do something. I want to seek that. I want to find out. But then we look into all these books of studying from all this great, amazing spiritual teacher, you know, Dalai Lama, all this stuff. You read it. It's a theory, right?
Right.
It's great, but I'm not experiencing. You know, I can apply it. So there's two different ways. So I'll look at motivation, inspirations. Motivation is something that it doesn't last. Why it doesn't last? It makes you jump. You can be in a group of conventions. Tony Robbins is a big example, big motivator, right?
Yeah.
You get in there, everybody hypes up, right?
Right.
It's great. He does motivate you. You're in there, you can accomplish anything. You can write a book. You can go out and talk on stage. Right. When you go home, you still feel like pretty shitty.
Right.
Exactly.
I think it's Bob Proctor who says, you know, motivation is like shower. You know, you got to take it every day. Well,
yes.
it's great for him to say because that's how he makes his money, you know? So,
Right.
but how do you stay motivated? I mean, like there's at some point, like I caught myself watching all these YouTube every morning or whatever, you know, like making it part of my routine. And it's like, that's great. But how do I go past that? You know, how do I motivate myself? And, you know, I've answered that question to some degree, you know, like
Right.
affirmations, making sure I
Right.
work with my automatic negative thoughts and
Right.
ready for them. So like, I understand that concept, but what you're saying is that you had experienced yourself the obstacles, and then you had to jump through them, and that's how you, I suppose, arrived to the idea that, hey, I've done this, maybe I can share this and help others.
Right. Exactly. Totally. You know,
Okay.
and what you were just saying, you know, about the motivations is where a lot of times you get into, you think you can accomplish something, right? You get excited, but you
Right.
watch a lot of YouTube. Because I used to like finding different YouTube so I can wake up and listen to it. Those are the big motivations so I can do some workout, right?
Right. Right.
But here's the thing. We got to have a discernment with doing that too. Because when you're watching someone or let's say Tony Robbins again, you watch a lot of his videos. He's very inspiring. You can do something.
Right.
But over time, you still have that fear because now you're
Attaching to him.
attaching to him.
Right. So
And then you go back and you go back. It's like, well, wait a minute. Why am I trying to teach my meditation when someone like him is already who can teach people, right?
right.
So we got to be careful with that. So it's like inspiration is better for me. I like inspiration. Inspiration is little tiny steps. Something inspires you. You do a little bit of it, and then you face your fear. You overcome whatever block,
Right.
and then you take a little baby step.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
do it again. Because you jump when you want to jump. In motivation, you jump without knowing it. You jump when everybody else is jumping.
Right. 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 Okay. I can see the difference. Right. So
Yeah.
inspiration, it just kind of slowly leads you to where you want to go. Motivation sometimes gets you to that point where I'm like, oh man, I can quantum leap buildings and nobody like,
Exactly.
yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Are you still with me, Billy? Uh-oh. Billy. No.
That's what I teach in meditation. I'm still with you. You
Oh,
hear
okay.
me?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
Okay. Good.
Good.
All right. So far, this is what I understand. You're inspiring to teach, or not even teach, but you know, whatever euphemism we want to use, people who are who have abundance of wisdom, but they're struggling sharing that wisdom because they're still like, there's a block in their head about some kind of like social barrier.
Right.
And the way you've realized that you can help people is by going through that realization yourself. And now tell me just a little bit if you have already came up with a plan, and if yes, what is it? And when I say a plan, describe it to me as a I often ask this question to people, and they kind of describe the big idea, like, oh, I want to open up a marketing agency, or
Right.
I want to start doing this and travel and do retreats, and like the big picture. But like what you were saying earlier, motivation, yeah, that's the big picture. But you know, inspiration, that's where we just look at the now. You know, the what is that product that you have? So
Okay.
for example, using your example about motivation, after I graduated college in 2015, you know, listening to a lot of these gurus, and I'm like, man, I can do this by myself.
Right.
So in my mind, you know, I'm already like a CEO of like $1 billion, you know, marketing agency, but I wasn't really looking at things like in the incremental parts. I mean, I was obviously, but I wasn't focusing on them, you know?
Right.
So now I'm focusing on that, and my number one service is to help businesses and entrepreneurs put together their About Us page. It's a very, very small thing to do. It's very niche, you see. but it's a product that will get me that relationship going with businesses. Then I can solicit these people with other products and services that I already have in my mind. So in your case, I mean, is there a specific, method or teaching or whatever that you have already put together? So there is. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I have a 4-week program. It's a 1.5 hour, I call it workshop or one-on-one coaching online of meditation.
Okay.
So basically, it doesn't matter who comes in and they go through this program. Basically, I teach them how to meditate, or as we meditate together. There's also a two-way communication. You share some of the stuff going on with your mind, right? And then in those class or coaching, I go through, teach you some of the lessons, explaining. Very simple, right? We don't want to complicate anything because we already are a complicated human being. So we go through all the very simple steps, and then you take a week break from the coaching. So you're only going to meditate on what you feel, what you learn, or based on what's going on with your life in the now moment. You know? Because all of this is a concept. None of this is exactly the same. It's not any conversation. You and I had the same conversation are not the same with someone else.
Right.
So there is no static per se. The only static of teaching, of course, is just sit straight, relax. Those are all the same routines. Breathe, reminded. But then once we start meditating, you're going to go into your own awareness. So I say meditation is only foundations. There's no power exists in meditation. It's a foundations. Awareness is where the power comes in. Awareness of your own mind, awareness of your own body, awareness of your own fear, your own illusion, awareness of your own happiness, right? Those are the power, because then you're able to see in the now moment, aware of what's everything's going on. And you can attach to it, and you can detach to it, right? So that's what the meditations are. And I lead them into a very basic fundamental of what my own experience of what this is. What is love? What is motivation? What is inspiration, right? What is self-healing? So very simple. And then that leads you, that just gives you information. It might be old information. You might have already information of your own awareness of how you take this information, apply it to your life, right? Two different experiences, but now we bring it together.
Right.
And then we break it down. We analyze it. We focus on it. And then we just let it be. We don't attach to it.
Right. So you're more like you're a personalized Morpheus.
I like that word.
So you're not necessarily a guru or a teacher. You're just showing them the way. Exactly. Tell me just slightly more about your. You said 1 month program, right? It's a 4-week program.
It's a 4-week program.
4-week program. And how do you facilitate that? Is that over something that what we're doing now? Over
exactly.
And is it every day that you guys meet? Is it?
We meet once a week.
Once a week, okay.
Just like a Zoom, right? We schedule once a week. We go over in 1 month, once a week. So they need that space so they can go in and meditate themselves.
Perfect. Well, and you already have a website?
I already do. I have the website.
Can I take a look at it really quickly?
Yeah, actually. How do I chat with this? You go back.
Is it on your Simbi?
No, I did not put in my Simbi yet. Simbi was new to me, so I was kind of playing around with Simbi. And I probably will get it on Simbi here. Let me grab my link here. Where are you from, Volchek?
Man, I'm so confused of where I'm from. I was born in Soviet Union. Then the Soviet Union collapsed, and I was in Russia for a little bit after that. And then we went to New York. After New York, we went to Florida. And then after I was done with high school, I stayed here for a bit. And then I moved to Los Angeles by myself. but now I'm back in Florida. I kind of got too distracted. I bit way more than I could chew in LA. So now I'm back to Florida, so I can concentrate on building my marketing idea.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
What part of New York were you at? I'm actually going to New York here in a few days. And
Oh, I was in Brooklyn, but I was a kid. I was like I was 12, 13, and 14.
oh, that's why we get along because I was from Brooklyn.
What part? What part?
Brighton Beach.
Oh yeah, you're like with all the Russians.
Yeah, they all Russians now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. No, we didn't move there. Thank God. We moved to Bensonhurst, where Italians are at.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you got chat.
Okay, so I send that on the thing. So I got 2 video on YouTube, just a little bit of. It doesn't really much. It's more of a marketing that I also do workshops. So I want to invite.
You have a Facebook page?
No, I'm staying away from Facebook for now.
Well, I mean, Facebook is like really where you would probably get most of your people.
Okay. So I'm writing these down.
Either Facebook, or you would have to. Let me take a look at your website just to kind of get a feel for it, and then I'll share with you the vision for the funnel that I think would be appropriate for you.
Okay.
So it's there's 2 of you guys, right? Kelsey and you?
Yes.
So you go by Choyin?
Yes. Oh, let me go back to here.
Okay, so you have 2 short videos. I like that. Keep them short. That's good. Let's see. So, Billy, is there a way for you to come up with some sort of value product that you can give away for free?
Yes, I'm actually working on that, like a guided meditations or some part of the meditation part of the program where they can actually watch, get a little bit involved, of see what that is.
Okay. And so think of it this way. So maybe, let's see. Now, when it says subscribe, what are they subscribing to?
Oh, it's my email list.
Are they getting anything from you like on a monthly basis or?
No, right now the email list, when they subscribe, it will give them a more detailed information of the program.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Because the website doesn't really give any detail the program itself.
Right. Okay, so from what you told me, I think it's important to tailor your website. Like think of like the About Us section.
Okay.
You can either, well, actually, I'm not going to go into the About Us. I'm not going to go into About Us section because it's not a separate page. It's all in one page. As I see, right? Yes, we have it. So I'm looking at right now that 4-week coaching program explanation. So it's very important to have in mind the target market per se on who you're talking to. Because if you're talking to everybody, you're not really talking to anyone.
Right.
Right? So it's like think about a busy subway tunnel where people are going, from the, Brooklyn. Think of like, Manhattan, where there's like a tunnel. Sometimes people busk, right? They play their guitar, and people sometimes stand there for a couple of minutes and they leave, So that's kind of like a perfect visualization of you talking to everybody.
Right.
A lot of people, they want to say like, I want to help everybody. Like,
Right.
yeah, but we just had a conversation about the people that you're looking for, right? You're looking for people who have wisdom, and they're kind of like they don't know how to share because they're not confident in themselves. That you need to shatter that barrier. So you need to figure out how to talk to these people.
Okay.
You need to figure out how to transcend that, what you can help them to, because that's how you're going to attract them, like law of attraction. Think of that. If you magnetize your website with the words that would speak to these people, they'll come naturally. You see what I'm saying?
I do. Thank you.
Just like a law of attraction. So
Okay.
if you can, because I mean, out of 300 million people in the US, even if you can get, 1/1,000,000% and get them to join you for 1 week, I mean, you're probably talking about 10,000 people. So that's a lot.
Right.
So the point I'm trying to make is, make it as precise as you possibly can, because later you can grow that, right? That's why I was talking to you about, like, previously, motivation versus inspiration. Motivation,
Right.
you want to talk to everybody. Inspiration, there's distinguished them, people that are going to be inspired by what you have to say. Motivation is like, yeah, law of attraction, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
That's great, but I got to go to catch my train,
Yes.
Right. But inspiration is like, man, fuck 9 to 5. I'm inspired by what you got to say.
Exactly.
Exactly. So you got to figure out how to do that. So then, for example, let's say you do that, and then you can kind of construct your first giveaway on how to break barriers.
Okay.
A 1 week course for free, right?
Okay.
And when I say 1 week course, all it means is what you're saying, one meditation class, right? But 1 week course sounds great, right? Instead of like just one. And then the reason why it's 1 week course, because 7 days later, you just do a follow-up, maybe just an email, and between day 1, that meditation, and day 7, you can just be available on the email if they have to vent, if they have to say something. And if you can sign up like 10, 15, 20 people and then have that as a cutoff, well, then you have a lot to work with. But at least at the very end, you're going to have some testimonials. At the very end, you're going to have some passionate people that will give you maybe a video testimonial. That's very important.
Okay.
And then you can maybe convert those people by offering them like your 4-week course at 50% off or something.
Right.
So then that's a funnel in it and of itself. Then again, the free course, the free meditation thing, you can say, for example, also record these and put them online just to get the word out, just to get more eyeballs on you. So the whole idea, the entire idea of selling goes through 4 stages, right? So it's awareness, interest, desire, and action. So the awareness, you want to make sure you get the right eyeballs, right? That's why I was talking to you about getting that niche.
Right.
So then the interest would be, say, for example, free 1 week course of how to break your psychological barriers so you can share your wisdom with people.
Right.
If that's the title, you're going to get people who, I mean, you'll catch the people that you're talking to through the awareness. And then interest is when you get onto your website to learn more about what you're offering. So they enter your interest stage when they go from Facebook to your website. So then if your ad copy or if your copy of the website speaks to them, Then they're going to start asking questions. Well, what does that mean, 1 week course? What is that? Who is this guy? What's the About Us page? Is he offering anything else? So when they start asking questions, this is when they go into the desire stage, right? So the desire stage, this is very emotional, right? Is the more you can keep talking to these people, particular to this market niche, the more likely you're going to start getting into their emotions, right? If they're going to start identifying with all the pain points that you're listing, and you've listed them earlier, maybe you can identify with them by sharing your personal story. This is where I think the About Us page can't be a marketing. It has to be think of it as a transparency, right? You're transparent about your experience and how you came about to starting this project, this business, this whatever.
Okay.
By sharing your personal story. Think of it as a Hollywood story, right?
Right.
It has the beginning where everything's mundane, even if your struggle is mundane, you said something about motivation. So maybe you can talk about how, for the last 10 years, I was listening to Tony Robbins, I was motivated, but I wasn't going anywhere. Even that 10 years, that's kind of like a routine. So
right.
you broke out of a routine one day when you started doing inspiration, when you found inspiration, and then
right.
you hung on to it, and you're like, aha, I have this aha moment. This is the beginning of your story, the aha moment that breaks that routine. After that, you share your obstacles. This is why I asked you about the obstacles, and you gave a lot of great information there. So after that, then you just say, and then the winning part, the end of the movie, when everybody's happy, is your business. This is how my business came about, and this is what I'm doing right now, and I'm offering this 1 week course. It's all in your About Us page. It has to be transparent. So then your action is your email list, or your action has to do something that may not be necessary with money,
right?
Just a transaction. So it could be like, sign up for my 1 week course. It starts as soon as I have 20 people or whatever. I'll email you when I have that goal. Just give me your email, and once you have those 20 emails, then you can start reaching back out to them. So that could be your funnel, but the funnel has to start with awareness. That's why I was saying earlier how Facebook is a very important part of that funnel.
Okay.
Either Facebook or YouTube or some other form of social media, because that's where all the people are hanging out.
Right. Okay. This is great.
Okay. Is that something that you think you can do?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You'll just help put it all together. Where I'm going. You gave me a lot of clarity too.
Yeah. As soon as you have that funnel, it's important to just get the funnel together and just go with it. You can always tweak it and optimize it later.
Right.
But once you start seeing that funnel going, that's pretty much it. Then you'll just understand how those funnels work. It's really simple. Like I said, it's just awareness, interest, desire, and action.
Okay.
The sooner you can get them to your website, the better. If they think of the psychology of a purchase, people don't like to be sold. They like to buy, but they don't like to be sold.
Right.
So, again, if I read a lot of businesses About Us pages, they're selling instead of just giving people reason to support their cause. By sharing a story and by sharing your kind of vision of where you're going with your business, you can get a lot of people to support you. And how many times do you hear a story where you're like, man, like, I feel for this guy and I wish I could support him somehow.
Right.
But there's not, a lot of people that have interesting ideas, they don't have a platform for people to support them because they don't have something that they offer for sale.
Right.
A lot of times we buy shit, not because it's something, but because the salesman is amazing,
Right, exactly.
Right. So it's the same concept. It's the same concept online. By sharing your story, people might want to jump on your, team or board or whatever you
right.
want. So that's the general concept that I've put together to reflect what you've told me in the concept of the funnel. So that's why I ask all these questions in the beginning, so that I can explain it so that it makes sense to you. But
It
otherwise,
does.
it's the same thing. It's literally,
It does. That's great, and thank you.
absolutely.
And I,
Corporations have been doing it. You know, these successful businesses have been doing it. It's really the same thing. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about your um, maybe your version of what I just told you. Maybe you can like kind of explain that to me as you see it, so that I could like help you maybe solidify it.
okay, yeah, I think for just like looking at the webpage wise, the about us is really getting not just a story, but a little put something in there towards the audience that I want to attract.
Mm-hmm.
Share some of my breakthrough, share some of my pain, share some of my struggle, and how I
Yeah.
kind of break through that.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I will, like lead some kind of giveaway video, meditation, something that they can actually start doing it,
Mm-hmm.
for free by just signing up, and then once I sign up, I just follow up with it. Hey, I have more advanced course. I'm going to build more advanced course later. And it's like you say, it leads to the bigger picture of retreats, right?
Mm-hmm.
But by then they know who you are. They trusted you. They inspired by it.
Right, right. They already have that familiarity with who you are and how you teach. Let me give you a bonus. This comes from the teachings of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Do you know about his
Yeah,
philosophy? Okay.
I do.
Okay, cool. So he talks about definiteness of purpose. Our definiteness of purpose, knowing your definiteness of purpose. And by the way, there's no pressure. That definiteness of purpose a year or 2 or 3 from now can change. But for now, just for application of what you're trying to do in life, if you can have that definiteness of purpose as an affirmation to meet with your struggles, to meet with your doubts, that'll help you a lot. But also, the most important is that it'll help you go that extra step further. There's a great saying. It's on my phone. It says, "Go the extra mile. It's never crowded." So what that means is like, if you can over deliver, if you can over promise but meet that promise, you're going to create a wow effect. But it is hard to over deliver and go that extra mile. But if you have that definiteness of purpose in your mind, you know why you're going that extra mile, and that why is your definiteness of purpose. So that should help you to go that extra mile. And what I was trying to tell you earlier is that don't just publish a video and say that's that free meditation class. Like literally have a 1 week free meditation class as if you were to do that whole like 4-week class. Right. So actually hold a Zoom conversation with that person, maybe for free. But it is a possibility that you could create a portal into new reality where that person is your new client and could be your client for life or whatever, Right. So what I'm saying is the difference between you and some other schmuck who's trying to do the same thing is that you can go that extra mile because your definiteness of purpose is to help people break that barrier, because you know how important it is because you've experienced it and you want to share that with other people. And you want to attract people who are important. Maybe for you, these are the people that might change the world. And by helping them, you are also changing the world. You're creating like through the butterfly effect. So that definition of purpose is really important. I mean, it's helping me immensely. And that's why I'm sharing that bonus with you, because I've been studying this Think and Grow Rich philosophy for the past 4 years. And it still is hard for me to kind of, I guess I'll use that word, ascend it into my consciousness.
Right.
I mean, I'm swimming in that consciousness of Thinking and Grow Rich, but I haven't necessarily made it my own, Right. But there are some aspects where I have made it my own, but not the entire thing. So my recent realization is this definiteness of purpose, because previously I was making it overcomplicating it. What's my definiteness of purpose? And again, like that motivation thing, it's like it's bigger than life, but like no, I just have to like tone it down, just very simplify it and For example, my definition of purpose is to raise awareness about local businesses to the local community. It's very simple.
Right.
It doesn't tell me how I'm going to do it. It doesn't say why I'm doing it. It's just very simple. To raise awareness about local businesses to the local community. It's done. And that helps me to go that extra mile, to give free, video interview of a business owner for free and throw it up on Facebook, and then have people say, oh, wow, you know what I mean? Because
right.
then other businesses are seeing that I'm doing that, and they're like, oh, well, shit, here's my money.
Right.
Exactly. But other people, if I talk to other photographers or videographers or whatever, that's a no-no for them, because they expect money in return for their craft. They're taking that craft personally.
True.
Where I'm like, well, I don't want to take my craft personally. I want to share it. I want to share it with the world.
Right.
So I just welcome you to think about those things. What's your definiteness of purpose, and what does that extra mile look like for you?
So that's all great information. It's really great.
Yeah, that should really, really help you. So that's it for me.
That's nice. I love it. This is amazing.
It does look like you have kind of got, at the very least, some sort of a picture of what you have to do, I hope.
Right, it does. I do.
At any moment, you can just chat and follow up with me on that. I'll also throw you this recording so you can always go back to it and listen to it.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything while we're right now on the line, MailChimp? Do you have any question I can help you with?
Yeah, as far as MailChimp, if you can share a strategy with me, maybe, I have a loose understanding what MailChimp is and all that stuff, but I don't necessarily know the best practices as far as, so say, for example, there are templates. And with those templates, I can do the RSS feed, right? I can connect my blog to have it populate on a template, and then just press a button and then release that newsfeed as a newsletter, right?
Yeah, so I give you a simple way that I use, right? So for a lot of years, MailChimp, the little monkey, everybody recognizes, right? It gets on my nerve. Every time I go in there, the platform is everywhere. It's so simple, so advanced also. So I'm like, I'm never going to use this,
Right.
So I finally stuck with it. When I stuck with it, I found 3 things that work for me. So you basically, once you get your account set up, you create a list. That list is basically what your client, let's say meditation, let's say internet marketing, let's say the law of attraction, something like that, right? So you have a list. Those are the audience goes in your list. Once you build a list, always build a template, because you don't want to always go back and do more work, right?
Right.
I used to send a lot of campaign. A campaign is something where I have a one event in my lifetime for tomorrow or next week. You usually send a campaign. But you know what? I stopped doing that. I'm just going to do a template so I can save it.
Right.
So I have it. So I don't lose it. I don't have to go back and re-edit it, a lot of stuff.
Right.
So I take my time and do the template. Let's say for event, for holiday, for your giveaway, for my giveaway coming up, right? I'm going to do a template. That template, I take my time. I always use their template theme, because it was pre-built, right?
Right.
I use their idea, I use their inspirations, right? And I just plug in my own information. So it makes my life a lot more simpler. So I have a list, I have a template, and then that's it. You just send a campaign to whatever you want to. And anytime you have a new list subscriber, you got to put them on a list. So let's say I'm going to get your email, right?
Okay.
So I go into MailChimp and I add you on my list first.
Okay.
And then when I add you on my list, then I go to my template. And then I find a template that I already pre-built. And then I send you a campaign. And what's much simpler is that when you have a list, when you have a new subscriber, when I send you a campaign, I go choose my list. I can choose, there's a box, very simple, to say, send it to a new subscriber. I don't have to bother the old.
Oh, I see.
So I've been keeping this routine for a lot of years. So I keep it simple. So anytime MailChimp updates new platform, they have these new automations. And what I realized that at first they put this automation right in front of you so you can actually see it, right? So I'm lucky that I built all this stuff, automated funnel, right? But at the same time, they removed it, and you can't get support unless you pay, a fee,
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I was having a hard time finding it, but then they moved it to a campaign. Now it's under campaign. So what I'm trying to explain to people with using MailChimp is very simple, but it can go complicated because the software platform, all this platform, so you can spend years learning all the different platforms.
Yeah.
Just stick with one, get used to it, and you're fine with it.
Yeah.
Right. And I love MailChimp because you get 10,000 subscribers free.
Yeah. I mean, 10,000. I mean, I'm not sure when I'm going to hit that.
Right. Exactly. Right.
And when I do, it's a good problem to have. So.
Right. And I think you mentioned about newsletter. The beautiful thing about it is you can just go to campaign. You create an email, right? You choose any of the template newsletter, you add it to yours, and you can resave it as a template.
Right. Yeah.
And whenever you have different account, you just email those templates to your email, and then you upload it to different account.
I see, like a MailChimp account.
Yeah, so I can send you my template, so less work for you. So you can do that to your business. You can pre-build template to help business with what you use that works. And you can email them, right?
I wonder if there are templates on ThemeForest. Let's see.
Oh, there's plenty. I used ThemeForest for a long time, so there's plenty of templates out there.
Let's see. Would it be like under email templates?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they have template for MailChimp, integrations.
So that would be, that's it.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, yeah, that's it. MailChimp 1,000 templates. Perfect.
And I think what you're doing, it also help you too, right? Because you already know what you're doing. You put in a template, someone like myself. Hey,
yeah, I'm thinking of maybe. So this is what I've been getting ready for. I have a search engine that I subscribe to that kind of I don't know what the right term is, but it seeks out the most popular articles that have been shared on social media, not search engines, but social media for the day or for the week or for the whatever. And, I choose the topic, which is content marketing. So every day I get these emails that are about very interesting articles that have to do with content marketing. So instead of creating my own content, I want to make sure that I curate it somehow, just choose one article and maybe create a video about it. Maybe go about it that way and somehow create a blog post on my website and then throw that onto my email chimp. And then once I have, say, for example, 7 of these, then I just send it out as a weekly newsletter.
Yeah.
Local business marketing. But I want to connect. I do know I've done it before previously where I connect the RSS feed from my blog to the MailChimp. So I have to revisit that again. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's 10,000 subscribers. I just do that, and I'll figure it out. If anything, I'll give you a line of a question or something.
Okay, you got it. Anytime.
All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure this out today. This way, it's in my mind. All right, Billy. If you have any questions, also throw them my way. Okay.
You got it. Thank you.
Perfect. It was
Namaste.
great. Bye bye. Namaste indeed. Cheers.
Bye bye.